Hello busy professional, welcome back to the Paperless Movement. I'm Tom Solid and today we will talk about idea management, something a lot of us struggle with on our daily work. So many ideas pop to our mind and we know the people coming in and say, man, I got this idea, we have to follow this up, and you start reprioritizing your task that you laid out and everything starts to crumble, that you plan for your goals and then you miss the goals just because you followed up an idea that was just an optimization and not a goal-orientated task and things like that. Okay, so things become very messy very quickly, especially if you're using chat systems. This is not how it works. We are not people who recommend to set goals in stone. There should be always flexibility with your goals. When you say we want to achieve this by this date, it should give you just a guide, a direction to follow with any task that you have. If you want to learn the details about this, I highly recommend to watch our ICOR mastery course, where we talk about the definition of goals, projects, tasks and to-dos and prioritization of these in order to really stay on track with whatever you do in your business or at work. But the issue is the idea collection. What do we do with people who sit in a meeting and say, man, I have an idea. Where do you write this down? You could write it down in your notebook, or you could create a task list and so on. And that's what we actually do. So when we go here into our ClickUp, you see we have a list that is called idea inbox, and here's the place where we collect the ideas. So how this works, let's say new idea and save this, okay? So how this works, we have our weekly agenda meetings. That's something I showed you in another video. If you want to learn more how we are able to just have one meeting per week, you can watch this video. And in this agenda meeting, whenever we come here, part of this meeting is also to go to the idea inbox and then check out what we have in new ideas and then discuss these together. So Paco, the co-founder of the Paperless Movement, and me discussing, does it make sense? Should we follow up on this? We give it a business area where we say this belongs to, and then we give it a potential. All right, that's what we decide together and say, man, this really has a high potential. So we should plan this as soon as possible. So this is what it means when it says to be planned. And this is whenever we free up time by finishing projects, we already have a list of things that we want to do next. So here you see, for example, the things that we want to plan when we have our 4-pillar courses about digital note-taking, task management, project management. When they are launched, then this will be the next that we work on. So we will never run out of ideas, but we already categorized and made sure that we know how important these ideas are. So we don't need to do the process the moment we actually need a new project. Okay, and then you see also we have rejected versions and accepted versions that we already completed. So how does this work? I could now, to make it more important, I go here, and here on top you see it is in a list idea. However, I can also hit this plus button and it says add to another list. So when I click this, I can say add it to the agenda. All right. Therefore, the next time we go into our meeting, it appears here in no priority and it shows me the idea here. And we can make the decision here and say to be planned. And now, without even going to the idea inbox, it updated everything in the idea list. So this is really nice. Also, we don't confuse it. We will delete this. So what is the advantage of this? Well, when you scroll over here, we see assigned comments, okay? There can be a discussion. We needed a single source of truth for ideas and then also a place where we can feed these ideas over time. So because, for example, let's say we want to make the course become paperless at work. We click here and now we see here the conversation that started at Slack, okay? That's the beauty of using tools like Slack and ClickUp, that we can always provide the links back and forth. And here it is exactly this, the case. So if we click here, we will go directly to the conversation in Slack where all this sparked. So there's nothing bad about having ideas sparking in the chat system or in Slack. However, the moment you realize this is actually an idea that needs to be followed up, always go to your single source of truth and then add the idea to your ideas inbox here and reference back to where this idea started, all right, if this is the case. And then on the conversation channel said, this idea was created and link back to this new idea. This way you have both ways, you don't lose any information about this, and even 3 months later you will still find the context. That's one of the first things that we do. And then this is our single source of truth. So here we can then add more information over time. So you see we created the task around 27th of June, but on July 1st, I added another thing what we could do with this course, for example. So the beauty is the moment we created these ideas, this becomes the single source of truth for this idea, okay? So whenever something comes up about team communication system, we can go in here and share this. So what you see here is now join the conversation here. This is actually the initial Slack conversation where this idea started. And as soon we realize, oh, this becomes an idea, then we have to create the idea in our ideas inbox here and link it back to Slack. On Slack, however, we will then link it to this idea, okay, that we have here. So this way, no matter if it is 3 months later, you will always have the initial context of where this idea comes from. Then the beauty about this is you can go anytime. When we go here, you see this idea was created June 24th. But now, yesterday, Paco shared this inspirational quote here by Sansama that could be used as an inspiration to create a course. And now we can keep adding more information. So this means the moment we are ready to pick up on this idea, we already have a long list of additional content and inspirational content that we can use then to kickstart our work on our course. So if you think this is useful, give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you have a different system that you use for idea management, let us know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to this channel so I can catch you up next time.